This is 540 to 552 from Ovid's account of Daphne and Apollo. And we're starting here at 540 with the qui, and the qui refers to Apollo. We're saying and he, or this him, he. However, adiutus, so aided or helped by the wings of love, follows her. He is swifter, he is faster, and he denies rest. And the back of the one fleeing he is close to. So he comes up close to the back of the one fleeing. So this tergo is dative with this compound verb imeneo. And he breathes on her hair strewn on her neck, so across her neck, or cast across off of her neck. With her strength used up, and we know it's her because the illa here makes it clear, she grew pale, and wicta, conquered by the labor of her quick flight, watching or looking at the waters of Peneus, of her father. So this Peneidas looks like it goes with undas here, but it is the Greek genitive of the noun. She says, "Father, bring your opes," and so opes usually means wealth or resources, but here I think Ovid intends for maybe help or aid. So bring me help, bring me aid. If you have your Newman, and so then flumina here has to be the nominative, and perhaps we can say that this really is lying in apposition to you, the plural, the royal plural, because she's talking to her father, the god. If you, O waters, have your divine will, and sometimes we just translate this as if your waters have divine will. And flumen, of course, literally means river. But if you have any divine will, by the thing which I have pleased too much, change my figure. So figuram actually is the antecedent of the ablative qua here. So let's take this first. So destroy my figure by changing it, by which or with which I have been too pleasing, I have pleased too much. With her prayer barely finished, a heavy stiffness, sluggishness occupies or seizes her limbs. And here this is the fourth declension accusative plural ending. A soft, or her soft chest, and that makes sense because, of course, the root here is the word for heart, and so the thing that is in front of your heart is your chest. So her soft chest is surrounded by a thin wood, a thin librum, a thin bark maybe. Into leaves, her hair. Into branches, her arms, and then we get the verb here, crescunt, they grow. So her hair grows into leaves, and her arms grow into branches. Remember, brachia is the word for the forearm, when Apollo was sort of itemizing and cataloging Daphne's beauty. Her literally foot, but feet. This is singular. Recently so swift, just so swift. Clings to or sticks to slow or sluggish roots, inactive, motionless roots. Her aura, her face, has a peak, And os oris, it should be said. Um, this really is a neuter plural noun, but it's used so often in poetry to mean just a person's face, singularly, that the T isn't any trouble here. So her aura has a kakumen, and this one splendor remains in that one. And the splendor here is her kakumen, her top. So, of course, the laurel tree being very beautiful and the leaves being used for all sorts of ceremonial things that we'll get into in the next lines.